So he instantly did not really like me. The most irritating people of all time. So in high school, me and my cousin decided we were going to work on the school newspaper. So as we got there to the first weekly meeting ever, there was a guy who would later become the chief editor. The guy who I had met years ago when we were still in elementary school, and we had had a fight at the time. So he walked in and I was like, and he was basically like, because we instantly recognized each other even though he denies that. So he instantly did not really like me. And because he didn't like me and he did a little weird to me, my cousin instantly wasn't too fond of him either. For the sake of privacy, let's call him Manny. So as Manny didn't really like me, he would always act a little weird to me. So we decided we were going to just be the most irritating people of all time. I mean, that seems reasonable, right? So after we got comfortable after a few weeks, we started to narrate. We became the narrators of the meetings. Let me give you an example. So my cousin, Chandana, and I were sitting at the table and he was standing there. And we would be like, Manny is standing in front of the class. He suddenly looked over at Chandana and Quinton angrily. And he would be like, stop it, said Manny. Stop it. Manny said in a more angry tone. Guys, really, this is so annoying. Manny said and the veins in his neck were throbbing. Guys, stop it. Manny yelled. Because we felt like he deserved it because he was being super mean to us for no reason from the start. So at some point, he got so irritated that he took out a handkerchief and he went like, ugh. And we were like, Manny wiped his sweat off of his face. But at some point, I mean, we changed our natures of being slightly irritating. So at some point, we were only going to say the word morph. So I would like write my mails to him being like, hey, morph, Manny. I morph wrote this morph article. Would you morph like to morph read it? Yours morph truly, Quinton morph. And every time he would be like, guys, stop it. Because apparently he was irritated by everything being a little out of the ordinary. And I mean, me and my cousin aren't exactly within the ordinary. So it didn't really work out. So the main thing I wrote for the school newspaper was the horoscopes. I don't believe in horoscopes whatsoever, but I got really good at writing them because my mom taught me. Write something about a specific subject, but make it so generic that it could apply to everyone. But my horoscopes were also very unique because they didn't follow the zodiacs. They followed a different thing every issue. For example, if this is your eye color, then this. If your locker number is between this and this, then this is your horoscope. Stuff like that. So I would write stuff like, lately you've been worrying about money, but don't worry. At some point your financial problems will become better. And people would be like, how does he know that? I indeed have problems with money. Oh, really? In high school? I did it. Oh, wow. Or, you're feeling a little insecure lately, but don't worry, this will pass as well. I was feeling a little insecure. How did you know? I don't know. It's not like 95% of whole high school people feel that way. I mean, no. And I would say stuff like, lately, you've been thinking a lot about love. That could be anything. You have a relationship and you thought about that a positive way. You really want a relationship and you thought about that all the time. Or anything like that. It's so generic that it works for everyone. And everyone was constantly like, it's actually true. How do you do that? I mean, yeah, that's kind of easy actually. Bless me. But yeah, Manny, the chief editor, did not like us. I think at some point he threatened to throw this jar of glue at me. But my cousin was like, I'm gonna hit you if you do. So he didn't do it because she was always like crazy strong. But then after 3 years, I left because I didn't really feel like it anymore. And you see, in the kind of education I did, at some point you have to write something called a profile thesis, basically translated. Basically, the thing is, you write this report and it's super long and super in-depth and it's like the biggest report you ever write during high school. But in this old school rule book, I found this rule that says if you spend 3 years or more working on the school newspaper, you don't have to write that report. So I asked one of the teachers and they were like, probably not. I never heard of that. But that one woman, she's in control about the whole thesis thing. You should ask her. So I took that book with me and I was like, I don't have to write one because I was in the school newspaper for 3 years. And she was like, are you sure that's not a rule? And I was like, here's the rule book. There we go. And she was like, oh yeah, you're right. You don't have to do that then. Just write half of 1 page of what you learned writing for the school newspaper. So I wrote that in like an hour and I was like, here you go. There, you're done. While everyone else spent weeks writing their reports. Hashtag yeah rule loopholes. Whoa! Hey guys, it's me LightFeather. Thank you so much for watching this new Storytime video. Please let me know down below in the comments. Did you have a school newspaper and did you read it or did you even write for it as well? Please let me know because I would love to know. And if you are new here, I would love to have you subscribe to this channel. On Saturday, I post something to get to know each other a little bit better. Like for example, this story. And on Wednesday, I post a sketch or a cinematic or a combination between the two to entertain. All of that to let people know that it's awesome and okay to be yourself and to be unique and you shouldn't let anyone change who you are because you are perfect the way you are. So if you agree, you can of course subscribe. But above all, I really hope you like this video. And like I always say, just be unique. You're awesome the way you are.